For years, fast food nuggets have been a guilty pleasure, a quick bite on the go, or the comfort snack you grab without even thinking twice. But here's a question most people never ask. What if the nuggets you've been eating all this time aren't actually the best choice? Two chains dominate this space: McDonald's with its legendary McNuggets and Wendy's with its seasoned, peppery nuggets. Both have massive fan bases. Both claim to deliver that golden crunch and juicy bite, and both are sitting right there on the menu, daring you to choose. But here's the problem. Not all nuggets are created equal. Some people argue McDonald's nuggets are iconic, the taste of childhood Happy Meals and late-night cravings. Others swear Wendy's nuggets are meatier, more flavorful, and less processed. But when you strip away the nostalgia and the brand loyalty, which one really does it better in 2025? In this review, we're going deep. We'll test first bite flavor, crunch, value for money, freshness over time, and even how well each nugget pairs with different sauces. By the end, you'll know if you've been eating the wrong nuggets all along, and which ones are actually worth your money. So grab your dipping sauce of choice, because this comparison might just change your order forever. Before we start biting into nuggets, let's get clear on how this review is going to work. Because if we're going to decide whether Wendy's or McDonald's truly makes the better nugget, it has to be done fairly and without brand bias. Here's the plan. First, we'll do a blind taste test. No packaging, no logos, no giveaways, just pure flavor. That way, memories of Happy Meals or favorite Wendy's runs don't interfere with the verdict. Next, we'll run a crunch and texture check. Nuggets should deliver that satisfying snap when you bite in, but not all breading holds up the same way. We'll look at crispness, juiciness, and how real the chicken feels. Then comes the price and value review. Because nuggets aren't just about taste, they're about what you're actually getting for your money. We'll break down cost per piece in 2025 and see which chain delivers more nugget for your dollar. We'll also test freshness over time because, let's be real, not every nugget gets eaten immediately. Some sit in the bag, some get reheated, and we'll see which one handles that better. Finally, the sauce pairing test. Nuggets don't exist in isolation. They're made to be dipped. We'll test how both perform with ketchup, barbecue, honey mustard, and ranch. By the end, this won't just be opinion. It'll be a full nugget review based on real tests. The very first bite of a nugget sets the tone. It's the moment you decide whether you're about to enjoy a crispy, juicy snack or whether you just wasted a few bucks. So let's start with McDonald's. Biting into a McNugget feels familiar right away. The aroma is light, salty, and instantly recognizable. The breading is thin, golden, and slightly crispy on the outside. Inside, the chicken has a soft texture that melts quickly, but you can also tell it's a bit processed compared to a full chicken bite. Flavor-wise, it's mild. Not a lot of bold seasoning, but enough salt and savory notes to be comforting. It's simple, and for many, it's tied to childhood memories of Happy Meals and dipping sauces. Now let's switch to Wendy's nuggets. Right away, there's a noticeable difference. The coating is a little thicker, with more crunch, and you immediately taste seasoning. There's a peppery kick, almost like a hint of spice, that makes it stand out. The chicken inside feels denser, with a more meaty bite compared to McDonald's softer texture. The flavor is bolder. Wendy's clearly wants you to know their nuggets aren't playing second fiddle. So which first bite makes the stronger impression? If you're looking for nostalgia and comfort, McDonald's nuggets do the job. They taste exactly how you remember. But if you're going purely on flavor and that first wow factor, Wendy's nuggets take the edge. They deliver a stronger, more seasoned bite that feels less like filler and more like real food. Round one goes to Wendy's. But don't crown them just yet. Taste is only the first test. Now let's talk about crunch. Because nuggets without crunch are just sad little chicken bites. The texture is what keeps you coming back, and this is where McDonald's and Wendy's take two very different approaches. McDonald's nuggets have a thin, almost delicate breading. When they're hot and fresh, you do get a light crisp on the first bite, but it doesn't last long. After that, the texture shifts into something smoother, with the chicken blending softly into the breading. It's easy to chew, almost too easy, and some bites remind you this isn't exactly straight off the farm chicken. Wendy's nuggets, on the other hand, are built for a stronger bite. The coating is thicker, with a crunch that's noticeably louder. Each bite feels firmer, and the meat inside has more chew. It's denser, closer to real chicken texture. The peppery breading and thicker crust help it keep its crispness longer than McDonald's, especially if you're not eating them right out of the fryer. So here's the takeaway. If you like a softer, smoother nugget that feels almost snackable, McDonald's delivers. But if you want that satisfying crunch and a firmer, meatier texture, Wendy's wins this round. No matter how tasty a nugget is, price matters. Fast food is supposed to be quick, convenient, and affordable. But which chain gives you more nugget for your dollar in 2025? At McDonald's, the most popular option is still the 10-piece McNuggets. On average, it runs between $4.99 and $5.79, depending on location. That puts the cost at about 50 to 55 cents per nugget. McDonald's also leans on bundle deals, like the 20-piece box, often priced under $7. That's where McDonald's really shines, giving you more nuggets for less when you're feeding friends or just really hungry. Wendy's, by comparison, usually pushes the 4-piece on its value menu and inside the $5 biggie bag. Standalone, you'll find a 6-piece for around $2.49 to $2.99 and a 10-piece in the $4.79 to $5.49 range. That makes Wendy's cost per nugget roughly the same as McDonald's, though their deals don't always stretch as far. Where Wendy's shines is in bundled meals. Biggie bags and meal combos often feel like a better deal for solo eaters. So here's the breakdown. If you're buying for volume or sharing, McDonald's usually gives you more food for less money. If you're buying for yourself and want a balanced meal deal, Wendy's holds its own. Let's be honest, not every nugget gets eaten the second it leaves the fryer. Sometimes you grab a bag at the drive-thru and eat while driving. Other times, you let the box sit for 15 to 20 minutes before digging in. The question is, which nugget holds up better once the steam fades? Starting with McDonald's. Fresh, they're golden and inviting. But as soon as they cool down, things start to shift. The thin breading loses its crispness fast, and the texture of the chicken turns a little rubbery. The flavor is still there, but it feels less satisfying once the warmth disappears. You can reheat them in an air fryer or oven, but out of the box, McDonald's nuggets clearly have a short freshness window. Now Wendy's. Their thicker breading works in their favor here. Even after sitting out, they keep more of their crunch, and the meat inside doesn't collapse into that same spongy texture. The seasoning helps too. Even when lukewarm, the peppery bite is still noticeable, making them feel less bland compared to cooled McDonald's nuggets. They're not as good as when they're hot, but they don't fall apart nearly as quickly. So in the freshness category, Wendy's has the upper hand. McDonald's nuggets are best eaten immediately, while Wendy's can sit a little longer without becoming disappointing. If you're the kind of eater who doesn't rush or you're grabbing nuggets for later, Wendy's feels like the safer pick. Let's face it, nuggets without sauce are like fries without salt. Dipping is half the fun, and sometimes it makes the difference between pretty good and can't stop eating. So how do these two stack up when paired with the classics? McDonald's nuggets are basically designed for sauces. Their mild flavor and soft texture make them the perfect blank canvas. Sweet and sour brings a tangy pop, barbecue adds smokiness, and honey mustard gives a sharp kick. Even plain ketchup works because McNuggets don't overpower the dip. That's why people love mixing and matching sauces at McDonald's. The nugget steps back and lets the sauce shine. Wendy's nuggets play a different game. They come seasoned, with a peppery bite built right in. That makes them tasty on their own, but it also changes how they interact with dips. Barbecue sauce pairs beautifully, balancing the spice with sweetness. Honey mustard works too, adding zing without clashing. But with lighter dips like ketchup, Wendy's nuggets can overwhelm the sauce. The seasoning does the talking whether you like it or not. So the sauce verdict? McDonald's wins on versatility. Their nuggets adapt to any dip. Wendy's nuggets win when you want a bolder nugget that stands out, especially with barbecue or ranch. It comes down to whether you want your nugget to be the star or the sauce. To really understand this nugget comparison, it helps to know where each brand comes from. McDonald's was the first to put chicken nuggets on the fast food map. Back in 1983, McDonald's rolled out the McNugget nationwide, and it instantly became a cultural hit. Kids wanted it in Happy Meals, adults loved it as a quick snack, and McNuggets quickly turned into a global icon. For many, biting into one today is like a bite of nostalgia. Wendy's came in a little later, but they weren't content with being an imitation. Instead, they carved out their own nugget identity by focusing on flavor. Wendy's nuggets are known for that peppery seasoning that makes them feel a little spicier, a little bolder, and maybe even more grown-up. Over time, they became the favorite for people who wanted something with more punch than McDonald's mild nuggets. The rivalry is more than just food. It's marketing, too. McDonald's pushes consistency and tradition. The nugget you loved as a kid is the same nugget you'll get today. Wendy's, on the other hand, has leaned into being the challenger, the chain that isn't afraid to add more spice, more personality, and sometimes even throw shade at competitors on social media. So when you're choosing between these two nuggets, you're not just picking lunch. You're picking between two very different fast food legacies. All right, let's pause the serious nugget talk for just a second. Because at the end of the day, this is more than food. It's a full-on nugget identity crisis. Some people are die-hard Team McNugget, others are sworn to Wendy's, and then there's that one friend who proudly says, Chick-fil-A nuggets are the only real nuggets. We all know that guy. Here's where you come in. I want you to lock in your pick right now. Drop a comment. Are you Team McDonald's Nuggets, Team Wendy's Nuggets, or do you think everyone's wrong and the true winner is sitting over at Popeyes? No judgment. Okay, maybe a little judgment. And seriously, has anyone else noticed that nugget debates get way too passionate? Like, people are ready to unfriend you if you bring the wrong box to movie night. It's wild. But that's what makes this fun. It's not just about the food, it's about the loyalty, the arguments, and yes, the dipping sauce drama. So don't hold back. Comment your favorite nuggets below, and let's turn this review into the internet's biggest nugget debate. We've tested first bite flavor, crunch, price, freshness, sauces, and even dipped into history. So now it's time to answer the big question. Are you eating the wrong nuggets? On taste, Wendy's comes out strong. That peppery seasoning gives their nuggets personality, while McDonald's leans on mildness and nostalgia. On crunch and texture, Wendy's again takes the lead with thicker breading and a firmer bite, while McDonald's stays softer and smoother. When it comes to value, McDonald's edges ahead. Those 10-piece and 20-piece deals are still hard to beat if you're feeding a crowd or just hungry enough to eat like one. Wendy's holds its ground for solo meals, but McDonald's owns the budget-friendly bulk game. On freshness, Wendy's holds up better once the heat fades, while McDonald's nuggets really need to be eaten right away. In sauce pairing, McDonald's is more versatile, blending with everything from barbecue to honey mustard. Wendy's is bolder, shining, mainly with barbecue and ranch. So here's the verdict. If you want bold flavor, firmer chicken, and nuggets that don't collapse after 10 minutes, Wendy's is your winner. But if you're all about variety, sauces, and getting the most nuggets for your dollar, McDonald's still has its crown. At the end of the day, it's not about which nuggets exist, it's about which ones are right for you. And there you have it. Wendy's nuggets with their bold seasoning and crunch, McDonald's nuggets with their versatility and unbeatable deals. After running them through every test, the truth is clear. Both have strengths, both have weaknesses, and choosing the wrong one really depends on what matters most to you. But now, I want to hear from you. Are you Team Wendy's Nuggets, swearing by that peppery flavor? Are you loyal to McDonald's Nuggets, sticking with the classic bite you grew up on? Or do you think neither deserves the crown, and Chick-fil-A or Popeyes secretly run the nugget world? Drop your pick in the comments, I'll be checking, and I already know this is about to turn into a heated nugget debate. If you enjoyed this comparison, don't stop here. Because next up, we're putting Burger King nuggets versus Wendy's spicy nuggets to the test. And trust me, you don't want to miss that review. So hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell so you never miss another food comparison. Until then, stay curious, stay hungry, and maybe think twice about which nuggets you've been eating all along.